Good morning, everybody. Good night. All that stuff. Welcome back to another
Is it really
episode.
evening already?
Good
Yes,
morning.
it's time for another nighttime adventure.
Okay, let's see here.
Every little, sometimes cutscenes will have an, oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, look who's here to ruin our day. It's the feathered fuck again.
With the big bushy eyebrows.
And the big bushy head. I mean, seriously, look at that thing.
Those eyebrows, is he supposed to be an owl or a penguin?
An owl.
Yep, he's
Them
an owl.
talons.
Hence
Look
his
at them
name.
talons and the fact that he's
I
flying
was making
everywhere.
a joke.
Oh.
Okay, so there's 4 other idiot aside from the one which we got, which was the idiot of courage.
Yes. Then they all formed to create the Master Emerald that...
More on that later.
If you collect all the Idia, you will become super knights.
Honestly, I would love if they did that one time. Has there ever been a Knights in Sonic comic that wasn't a fan thing?
I don't think so.
As far as official, Worlds and Knights probably the closest thing to it, and even then, I don't think Sonic and Knights ever really shared any panels together.
Which is
Yeah.
a shame, really, but well.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired.
It's
I know,
okay.
this game
I mean-
is all sleepy.
I mean, if nothing else, there is also the Nightmare Zone in Sonic Lost World.
That is true, and I love that. I was very happy to see that come back.
It was nice, even if it was pretty clear. It was pretty clear that it was only made for, well... I think my problem with that. I think my problem with that zone is that it's like one of the very first zones you can actually play, and it really didn't live up to it. It could have lived up to even bigger potential than that.
So, let's go in and let's see what some of these sub-games are, because yes, these, at each level, so here in Aqua Garden, we now have 4 other ones, and I'm just going to get right to the point. I think Helens suck. I really hate to be like so biased about this, but I really truly feel like Will's just got so much more like effort put into his campaign over Helen's.
I honestly disagree. At least with the as far as the bosses go, I feel like Will's bosses are a lot more difficult to handle than Helen's are.
But I think that his sub games are far more like interesting and unique. Like all ow!
I know.
Oh, come on,
He
Al.
got his head stuck.
Oh, Al,
Is
you're
it gonna
too
pop
old.
off?
Oh,
Oh,
There
hello.
He's okay.
poor
He's
Al.
he's a dream character. He's fine.
You're too old
But,
for these games.
I mean, okay, so
I feel-
I'll say this right now. So there are sub games, and laughing at him.
Gosh, that don't look awkward at all.
And similar to how in Nights into Dreams there were parts where you would you could walk around as the kids before you went to Nights. That was all. You could still do that. In this game, there are actual levels dedicated to walking around as the children, which, as you can imagine, is not at all as fun as it is to walk around fly around as Knights. And whereas Will has 1 level, Helen has
Wasn't
3.
that funny? Devil damn it.
Helen has 3 levels like that, and they're just kind of eh. So, not gonna mince words when it comes to these sub games. For the sake of time, I'm gonna most likely speed past a lot of them.
Like that.
Aw, I love the music for this one.
Well, you already heard it
but
before.
yeah, it's the same. Oh, jeez, come on, nice.
Okay,
There's a
really,
bubble.
that
There
does
it
not
is.
kind of funny sped up.
My guitar going nuts. Gosh, that little speed guitar's going like fucking away. So, yeah, so
I'm sorry. You first, and then I'll talk.
the reason why I speed passes is that these mini games are like auto scrollers. They're locked into that time and at that clock at the top, and all you have to do is you want to fly into bubbles and push them into the big one, and you want to make it bigger than the red circle, which, as you can see, I've already clearly
It's
like
pink.
brushed past. I mean the red circle in the lower right, that red dotted
Oh,
line.
I'm sorry. I
So-
I was
misunderstood.
gonna
It's
say I
clearly
didn't see
past
it
the
until
limit,
like right
so-
before you mentioned it.
There we go. I did that.
Real quick, just the way you somewhat slurred about the guitar back there. I thought you mentioned something about like a Pikachu doing it, and now for some reason it gives me this mental image of a Pikachu pulling an 88 fingers
Nice.
sword.
Perfect
That'd
day.
be funny. So yeah, I'm gonna most likely speed past a lot of those. I want to show them, but I'm most likely gonna speed past a lot of loading times and sub games just because I gotta love the music here. Oh, that fountain up ahead. you can find these things called dream drops in all of the levels, and the cool fun thing is that if you find all of them and jump into that fountain, you can turn Helen and Will into Clarice and Elliot in their original models from the original game.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It's just a cute little Easter egg, but ultimately, don't bother.
Yeah, it's not
Don't bother
really
unless
worth
you
it.
really have that big of a heart after the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to acknowledge the existence of these two other children.
It's time for Knight's Addiction Obsession to come out.
It's Octopaw!
Knight's kind of like is fanatical about Octopaw and loves chasing him around.
Yep.
No, that's just an octopus. You're scared of everything.
Also, as you see in these cutscenes, they do this odd thing where, like, I know that they're dualized, so they fuse together and Helen can control Knight's and Knight's can control Helen's body at this exact same moment.
Yeah, it's a little
dualizing.
interesting.
It's an interesting effect.
It could have been handled better, but at the same time, it's not a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's go. Hey,
Nope, you're kidnapped now. Off we go.
Nope.
Awful.
So, Octopaw is basically your big combo challenge, and how I'm going to handle these in recording is that I'm only going to show my best, like, attempt
Yeah.
because
to show the longest combo, because this one is an auto-scroller locked into, you have to give at least 5 good attempts, and then the game ends. So, yeah, I'll just show my
Yeah.
best combo.
I mean,
Anyway.
if it weren't for the fact that how kind of hilarious the fact that Knights does have this whole addiction to this octopus. I mean, this is pretty much just. These are essentially like very similar to like the Knights, the original Knights into Dreams, where your whole goal was to get the best amount of best combo in order to get a high score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the idea is that this is the formula that all of the 6 main stages of the game follow. That middle door is basically the Chow Garden of this game.
Yeah,
Where
pretty much.
You get to hatch and have cute little Nightopians.
Oh yeah, fun fact. The Child Garden originated from a design that was added into the original Knights into Dreams.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
like
what-
the
so Chow started with
the
Nightopians.
A-Life system. Yeah, the Nightopians were involved, and that's pretty much how the Child Garden spawned.
It's like the
I miss the Chow Garden. We don't have that in games nowadays.
I don't.
It was okay.
It was an alright feature. I mean, I'm not crazy about it.
I will just say, actually, right now, I am both surprised and impressed that Sega has not made some microtransaction-laden Chow Garden mobile game already. Because they could have easily done it.
Oh, hello.
Hello!
Oh, hello.
Wiseman!
It's that boss from Mario 64. Oh!
And it got a hell of an upgrade!
And it actually was able to separate them. And
she's gonna die.
No, it's a dream. She can survive any fall. And oh, don't worry, it's Half-Life physics. The water stopped us.
Truth be told, I'm also surprised they didn't just outright make this an entire underwater sequence.
It would have been neat. But yeah, so welcome to the human sections, which is blue chips now not only act as a point, they actually act as a weapon now.
Yeah.
You can throw them at enemies. Usually it takes 2 to stun them perfectly.
Yeah.
But, oh boy. Other than that, pay close attention to the clock in the lower right, because similar to how it worked in the original game, when you're not dualized with Knights, you kind of are on a normal sleep schedule like every other human, and you can wake up and thus lose the game if you let that time run out.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
Of course, the opposite is now a little bit of a bleak concept that we're basically keeping ourselves in a permanent comatose sleep to continue our adventure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, never you mind about that.
Or it could just be a matter that you wake up early. Like, we've all been there. We wake up earlier than we want to, and it's a very unpleasant
I'm there a
feeling.
lot of times.
I
That's
hate
happened
that
to me
feeling.
before, yeah.
Waking up ahead of your alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Me, I'm a
I
pretty
do that
early,
a lot nowadays.
Me, I'm a bit of an early bird. I can wake up super easy. It's staying up late that's hard for me.
You're lucky.
Hey,
I can do that easily.
I used to be like one of those early bird people, but nowadays, because I've been staying up late with you guys since I went to college, it's like the opposite. Like, I love staying up late, but I also, have my standards as far as staying up late. Like, I don't like to go to
Ow.
bed any later than 1 o'clock in the morning, and
I'm an-
usually I
Sorry.
like to get about like no more, like, no less than 6.5 hours of sleep, but sometimes, like, you know, on certain occasions, either by alarm or by myself, I have to wake up early. Or I do wake up early.
Oh, what were we gonna say there, Seely? Oh, nice.
I used to be a night owl, but now I'm not even sure what I am. I can't get up in the morning very well. And,
I used to be. I remember there was a time in college where I would be pretty like night owlish. Like I would stay up late and like stream or like call with you guys and hang out. And I would drive back and be home by like midnight.
I slept for almost 12 hours last night, and right now I'm really tired.
Aww.
That's odd. Oh, okay. We made it to the final stage. There's 4 sub games, and then it's time for, I guess, spoilers, a boss rematch.
Yep, that's what it is.
Oh, Helen, just ain't that just so cute? The fact you're trying to pretend you have wings.
She's rehearsing for one of those Kingdom Hearts intros.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just relax. Are those boots or?
I think they're boots.
Stockings or?
I think they're supposed to be like yeah, pretty much.
Or like stocking boots.
Basically.
Like they're made out of a certain material.
Kind of like what Scrooge McDuck wears.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
Wait,
What, are
seriously?
you talking about spats?
And we died. Credits rolled.
Well, that was weird.
Oh, that's right. That's right. While we're fighting this guy who works the exact same way, although he has a cute little cutscene, and sometimes the bosses will have a new mechanic, but the run is actually honestly pretty much the exact same. There may be
I
more
think the only
balloons,
difference
but-
is that he's a bit bigger.
So there's more balloons. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't
Got
at
him.
all.
Oh boy.
Got him. But yeah, that's right. I was looking more into voice actors. So Knights is of course played by Jules Giselle.
Don't you mean Juliana Giselle?
Her IMDb calls her Jules Giselle.
I thought I read it as Julie one time.
Now, well, okay, so apparently according to IMDb, she went by Julissa.
Julissa, that's what it was. Okay.
But now she goes by Jewel, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense.
And she's been the modern incarnation of Knights in pretty much everything she's been in. Oh, too low.
No.
She also was Kira in Infinite Space and Fina in Skies of Arcadia.
Huh,
Yep.
Interesting.
That was her first role, and she was in the Jungle Book Rhythm and Groove as Indian Girl.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere.
Yep.
It worked. I've never played Skies of Arcadia.
Me neither.
I've heard about it, never played it.
I just know that it has a massive cult following, and honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't gotten the HD port as of yet.
Oh, cool, I got a Paraloop power up. Oh, too late.
Nice.
Sometimes you'll find medallions that give you, like, this one I think gives me an extended Paraloop. And there's one that instantly recharges your dash meter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just prepare, and...
Anyway, before I forget, before this video ends, I was gonna say something earlier regarding
Oops.
aquatic gardens.
Go for it. Aqua Gardens, yeah.
Yeah, so back when I was really into like Sonic the Hedgehog and whatnot, all the Sega games, I actually thought about the idea of writing a lyrical rendition of the tune, like kind of like how they did with Seaside Denied and what was the other one with Grand Metropolis? Steve, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
What now?
From Sonic Paradox, like they did like a lyrical rendition of like some of the Sonic
right,
Hero
the
themes.
Seaside Hill, Grand Metropolis.
Yeah, at the
they teased the idea of them doing Casino Park, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to do it.
yeah, they probably haven't gotten around to it,
Yeah.
but basically, like that was the idea I had back at the time. Like I wanted to do a lyrical rendition of Aqua Garden.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it would have been a cool idea.
Oop, my chair.
It's bigger than me.
It's
What
buggier.
was the white ditty again? Hope or Purity or what
I
was it?
think that one's Hope.
Alright, and now time to meet our main villain.
Didn't we already see him before with his big gaping
Sort of,
eyeball?
but now that's what he looks like.
Hello. Hello, Roger L. Jackson.
Voice of Scream, voice of the Ghostface voice and all of Scream, Mojo Jojo. And,
Cheshire Cat
yes.
and everyone else in American McGee's Alice.
Sam the Lion.
Oh,
yeah, you're right, he
yeah,
was.
You're right.
But
Old
yep,
man
he
with
is,
hello.
yep, he is Wise Man.
I see. I will expect
Ooh, that filter.
news in the future.
I can hear Mojo Jojo's voice.
Leave it to me, Master Wiseman.
And yeah, that's a problem. And we're gonna have to deal with that problem next time.
Aww.
Because goodness me, I think it's time we finally get around to the point that no, this game is not just about one child having traumatic dreams. There's another one we have to talk about.
Oh, that's right.
So join us as I try and do what we did with Sonic 06 and Sonic Adventure and fail Sonic Adventure 2 and failed miserably at it. Because this game likes to play with dual universes almost with its cutscene differences. Bye!
Go the fuck to sleep.
I'm
Night, night.
tired. Good night. Bye.
I'm gonna stamp all I want.